be right back. Welcome back. As you heard, it has been a very interesting first segment. If you missed it and just joined us, please go back and listen to it. Susan was telling us about her imagery book that she put out and how she has taken it just like an art of canvas, right? And taken it forward. And it was so interesting. So before the station break, Susan, we were talking about how you went to go get it published. And you mentioned you were in a restaurant with a friend and a waitress
Mhm.
overheard the conversation say, hey, I just published a book, and she gave you a company to look into. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that process was like? As I'm sure we have many listeners that are like, okay, I did this book. Now what do I do?
So, so when I got the information, I went to the website, which is www.mascotbooks.com.
Mhm.
And when you go into that platform, they're going to have all of their listings of what they do and so forth and how they go about it. And it's so user friendly that you're going to put your imageries in the PDF forms.
Mhm.
They have it all laid out how they want it, and it's just basically typing it in and uploading, downloading, however loading which way you want to go. But
Mhm.
if Mascot is one of many, which is great, Mascot Books, but also what I like is to go to the bookstores, libraries, and you can look to see who published
Mhm.
the books that you
Mhm.
love, the genres that you are interested in, the genres that you are more favorable
Mhm.
in your niche of writing or illustrating. That would be the best bet. Go to the libraries, go to the bookshops, and just look to see who published their books. And you will have an overwhelming like list of a roster to look and research. And that's what you need to do. You need to take the time to slowly compare, research what it is that they're compared to of doing. Do they have a team of people to help out with putting this book together? And that's what I loved about Mascot Books. They made it so easy for someone who's new to come and start a book. They would constantly be in communication with me. I didn't just send it just over, but also there was a lot of communication going back and forth. How simple as something as simple as the letter font,
Mhm.
um, and which pages do you want to put first, second, third, and the storyline and so forth, which is great. And I felt, even though I had major training wheels
Mhm.
on, they were so helpful in guiding me every step of the way. But I would definitely say, check out Mascot Books and libraries and bookstores and see your favorite books, even the
Mhm.
books that you got at home. Look through
Mhm.
it. Who published them? Be
Mhm.
curious.
Mm. That's awesome. That is awesome. I have to tell you, that is just a gem of art. When I look at it, I feel emotions. With all the things that are going on in the world today,
Mm-hmm.
our ability to escape, our ability to dream and
Mm-hmm.
imagination is where that freedom comes from, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to think about anything else. I just want to be free to think anything I want to think right now. I just want to let my imagination go. And what you have created is a beautiful pictorial of images that did just that.
Yes. Yes. I love it. And he's on a quest. Seth is on a quest to figure out who he is and embrace, or maybe not embrace his flaws. It's up to him. And noticing how to be in the movement of moving forward no matter
Mhm.
what, and
Mhm.
surrounding yourself with beautiful people that will
Mhm.
support you and embrace you and slowly and gently just
Mhm.
teach you how to take those steps to go forward. So as he's doing this, he's at a place that he has to make a decision if he's authentic or not. Is he worthy
Mhm.
or not? You
Mhm.
know, and that's the beauty. Don't we all have to do that? Look inward to find
Absolutely.
out what it is that we still need to work on and
Mhm.
not be so harsh, but be patient and gentle. And not everything's going to be healed or transformed
Mhm.
immediately, but the journey of it, the journey of the lesson in the journey to going forward and building those tools, those skill sets to express yourself and as many times as you need to, and
Mhm.
just to invest in you. No,
Yes.
I think that is so important that people should know that no matter what part of life you're dealing with or what phase you're at in your life, life is life and you're here
Mhm.
to live it.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's going to be thicker than other times, but I think the perception of it all and who you surround yourself with and how you choose to think, um,
Mhm.
is what makes things more flourishing. And sometimes it can be difficult. And I think that's where you have to reach out to your friends and the things that
Mhm.
make you feel good, that put that warm feeling in you, and yeah, we're always worried, and I don't think we learn enough to just stop and breathe and say, what's really going on? How can we help you? Or people checking in on each other. That would be a nice thing.
Mhm.
Sometimes just, hey, how are you today? Or just sending a sunshine kind of emoji type of thing.
Mhm.
It's the small stuff I think that
Yeah.
makes us just feel alive and happy at times. But yeah, my creativity is what makes me um, enjoy me.
That's awesome. Well, I cannot let you get off this show without taking a few minutes for you to tell the audience about your phenomenal YouTube show, Susan's Adventurous Path. What's your canvas?
Yes. So what I love about that is it's aiming to the self confidence and self worth. And I write all the short stories, and the
Mhm.
illustrations are all mine.
Mhm.
And I'm the one that you'll hear my voice
Mhm.
in the videos. And that is just basically the continuation of worthiness. It's just, having those uplift moments that, yeah, you may be going through some dark time, the shadows within us, and we're always quick to suppress it because it's easy to not face it, and it's easy to just run instead of facing with the issues at hand. But I think it's important for people to know that you don't have to look at the whole entire picture all at once. Just choose a small portion to work on and heal and move on. And it won't be so ginormous and heavy on one's shoulders or on one's mind. And that's what I love about that, is that I can take it to so many different ways with the um, topic of self worth and the anxieties and the worries and how to go about it and so forth. And I hope the illustrations, I hope people enjoy the illustrations. But I had a great videographer that worked on those videos as well.
Mhm.
Um, and making my imageries come to life. And some of those videos, I'm in it myself in costume.
Right.
So I had fun with my,
So that was you in
I,
costume, huh?
Yes, that was me. I had to experience that inner child moment. And you know what? That is the key. The inner child with love, unconditional love. If you will allow your inner child to teach you again how to detach and just be in that moment of excitement and not worrying about the outcome and the attachments, I can say life will be a little bit more easier. And I'm speaking from my perspective because once I've learned how to switch that, I noticed that life wasn't so bad.
What you're giving the audience is so important because you're really allowing us to look at ourselves and evaluate how do we get to our calm? How do we understand enough to stop, reflect, think, and then move, as
Stop
opposed
breathing.
to just
Yeah.
moving, and just doing. And it's so important, but it's easier said than done.
Yes, because
No.
our minds I used to be in one way, and like what I always tell people is with my clients is, when things get overwhelmed, if you can, in the middle of that anxiety, just bring it back to your breathing. Your breathing will set the tone and it will bring you back down and more grounded. And then you can start thinking a lot clearer. And
Mhm,
the more you do that, the more that you are retraining your brain to automatically go to that action. And then from there, you're going to pick up other tools, whatever that skill set of tools may be, and you implement it and hone in on it. And then before you know it, you've got this beautiful list of to dos that are going to amplify you in a more positive way.
mhm,
And it's about finding what that would be for you, and what works for one may not work for the other, you
mhm.
know? But,
Exactly.
uh, yeah, I always say breathing.
Okay.
That's, breathing, everybody does it. It doesn't cost you anything. And
Mhm.
instead of reacting so quickly, I think just listening to your breath, it's a miracle. And that itself is worthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a phenomenal conversation, Susan. And I hope, audience, that you're out there listening to these things with
Mhm.
Susan Drayton, that you're thinking about the imagination, the creativity, but the healing. Because she's giving us a lot to deal how we're dealing with, anxiety today,
Mhm.
challenges today. How do we really overcome them? So today the answer is take one step and breathe. Just
Mhm.
breathe deep in and out, and let's start there. So I'm a breather, I'm a meditator, I'm a prayer. So I definitely understand that,
Yeah.
and definitely appreciate those words because I truly believe in the impact of being able to breathe and to make that happen. So, Susan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me and to allow me to introduce Seth to the audience.
It's my pleasure, but I want to know about the next series of Seth coming out too.
Thank you.
Well, audience, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Ignite, where we light the fire and keep it burning. Look forward to the next time. See you then.